YouTube, welcome back. This is episode 14 of the Final Whistle podcast. You have me on your top right, Mike. On the bottom, we have Terrence. My bottom left, we have Simon. Directly to my left, we have Chris. And all the way to the left of your screen, we have said. Starting off today, we're more NFL heavy, mostly free agency and off-season moves. First thing we're going to talk about is Kyler Murray. Is his career over? Do we think he's got to play somewhere else? Me personally, he's definitely got to play somewhere else. There's definitely a lot of QB teams this off in free agency that don't have the number one pick in the draft or like a high draft pick.
I'm gonna say this. To me personally, I feel like Kyler Murray. I'm gonna say this wholeheartedly. Kyler Murray career is definitely not over. Like he's definitely got a lot of juice in the tank. Cause first of all, you got to think about this though. Like just thinking about like last season. You know, I'm pretty sure like he threw. Okay, you know what? He threw for. I think this was his worst season. This previous season right now. But I think he averaged like 900 yards that season. But then like just thinking about it for the past, he averaged almost like more than 1,000 yards. From those previous seasons. You know, and then just to kind of like add on top of that too is like first and foremost he created like a whole milestone not only for himself but just like for the Cardinals franchise in general because like he completed like I think he created like he had a milestone like what 18,000 yards in the past 5 seasons if I'm not mistaken, give or take a few. So that right there was already like he don't really his career is not over just based off of those two accomplishments. He's good. But just kind of add.
Oh, go ahead. Finish your thought.
I'll say that just kind of also add on more about that too. Not to mention he did make Pro Bowl 2 times. You know, that's just a little, just to kind of like hold his nuts and all that and open pause.
You holding his nuts, all right.
You holding Super Bowl this year.
Well, hold on though. Because I have been keeping up with Kyler Murray though, so I could definitely stick to these though. He has completed like more than like 300 completions within those past 5 years. I would say the only thing that was really well, I say 3 things that was fucking with him was one. This is probably one of his worst years when it comes to O-line.
He barely played this year.
Yeah,
he also had a bad O-line. And even then, you see just from the backup QBs on the shit that they had. 2, it was roster inconsistencies too. So he never really had receivers, nor did he have an O-line to really have weapons to kind of like help him out on that. And
so you're telling me D-Hop was a nobody?
You said who?
Prime DeAndre Hopkins was a nobody? Now that I think about it?
He had
DeAndre Hopkins.
David Johnson once upon a time, James Conner, Trey McBride,
Hollywood Brown. Right, Christian Kirk was there, right?
Yeah, Christian Kirk
was
there.
But I mean, we also did, like I said, though, we
Harrison
also
Jr.
had inconsistencies, though.
I will also say that it's very alarming when your QB has a 2-to-1 interception rate, touchdown to interception ratio. For every 2 touchdowns that man throws, he throws a pick in there.
I think it's like the same thing with Jameis Winston, but we don't really criminalize him like that. We just say that's Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston is starting QB right now.
He's a lot like us. He's a lot like us right now, bro.
I mean, but like I said though, this is probably one of his worst years, like one of his worst seasons in the past 5 years though.
He barely played because he was hurt.
Let me be honest though. I'm gonna say 3 quarterbacks that this is literally equivalent to: Baker Mayfield with the Browns, Matt Stafford with the Detroit Lions, and Geno Smith.
No.
Yes.
No.
How?
You can't even compare Stafford with Kyler in Detroit.
So you telling me Matt Stafford was balling out when he was with the Detroit Lions?
Yes, he was. He was a baller.
Did you not see what he did with Megatron?
Hold on though. Hold on. Go ahead and say this though. All right, go ahead and say what you got to say.
Get him out of here.
But hold on though. Was it Kyler Murray not balling out with the Cardinals though?
No, you cannot compare Matthew Stafford to Kyler. Because even with Matthew Stafford in Detroit, we knew Matthew Stafford could have been a Hall of Famer.
But let me ask you this though. What stopped Matthew Stafford getting the ring though? If he was so balling out with the Detroit Lions, what stopped him from getting a ring with the Detroit Lions?
Them not
The
forming a good
Detroit
team around.
Lions.
Yeah, them not forming a good team around him.
So
And you got history of running backs. They running backs would always be hurt. But
But
okay,
I'm gonna
so
be
I said
honest with you. Hold on, Chris. I think what you can. So when it comes to Kyler Murray, I think you confusing great moments with a great quarterback. Like he has great highlights and he's done some great things, but that doesn't necessarily make you a great quarterback. To answer the question directly, I don't think his career is over. He's 28 and he's a two-time Pro Bowler. Like I definitely think there's a home for him somewhere. But like just addressing Chris points, like nah, like he has the Hail Mary to D Hop and a few other plays, but other than that, like he's only made the playoffs once.
No, that's
And
You look
false.
at his division. You look at his division. Every team in that division has won the playoffs since he's been on the Cardinals, except for him.
Nah, that with him though, the thing is like I don't. He's short in height. I also don't think he could ever become a pocket passer. I don't think his career's over yet, but I think it's on like headed that way. Like he's on the downhill end of his career because if he can't become a pocket passer with as many injuries as he's had already and as injury prone as he's like become, like he's always going to run around. He's always going to be that same player. If he can develop and become a pocket passer that can
But
scramble a little here and there, I think
I
he
would
could
say
become good.
I'm also say this though. He can't scramble though. Because if you want to be real though, he was one of the quarterbacks that the opposing team defense have to account for in that.
not just
Well,
that, but
the
I
thing
would
is,
say if Justin Fields and Jameis Winston can still get jobs out here, Kyler Murray can do the same. Like he's better. He's at least better than them. But I will argue this, Chris. Kyler Murray isn't a top 10 quarterback in the league right now.
Oh
You would
no.
probably say he's like somewhere around 14, 15. So he's
20.
about middle of the pack. Yeah, I wouldn't even argue that. Like he might be 20 something, something like that. He's in the back. He's either in the middle, like right in the middle, or in the back half of starting quarterbacks in the league.
I would say he's like right at your like start. If we go into like tiers of starting QBs, I wouldn't like label him just as average. I would say he's a little bit like above average, just like borderline. But he's
Yeah.
definitely not like your game changer. He's still close to your like your game manager than anything.
I don't think you'll ever be able to win a Super Bowl with him, though.
No. Well, I'm not gonna say that either. Cause I'm gonna be honest though. Cause I'm gonna also say this real quick as another in my opinion too. Who's his? What was the Cardinals head coach? Cliff something. I forgot his
Cliff
name.
Kingsbury.
Yeah, Cliff. I'm gonna be real. Like him being coached under Cliff Kingsbury, bro. I feel like that's probably like one of the best decisions he did was to get like to leave. 'Cause I feel like if he was coached under somebody who was more developed, especially with Kyler Murray's type of play style, like it would be good, Cause
The
that's how I
only,
feel. 'Cause I say this
the
though, I
only
say this,
reason,
a person who I feel like who got the most perfect experience would definitely be Pete Carroll.
No.
nah,
No.
they
Is there
going
a
with
re-
dude from Indiana.
is
But
there a
I would say
reason?
this: the only reason I can't just write him off completely is because we just saw a dude who we wrote off completely win the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Now, that's not an apples to apples comparison. I get that, and situations matter and all of that. But I will say, I think he has at least earned the shot to be a starter somewhere else. Now, where that is, we can debate. I don't know where he should go, but I don't think his career is over. I think he has at least two more stops. Because he could
So
go somewhere and play for a year and then leave there and go somewhere else and get another job probably before he's like journeyman backup quarterback type of dude.
so um I don't want to address. So Cliff Kingsbury, he was hired because he gravitated towards Kyler Murray play style, which was the RPO and everything of that nature. He just was a bad coach. But also, Kyler Murray's a decent quarterback, but I don't think he's all that. The height is also one flaw on him. But when you look at that team, you can't say they haven't tried to put stuff around him. Because you had James Conner, You even had Michael Wilson now. You have Marvin Harrison Jr. You have Trey McBride. O
Most
line
definitely.
do need to be worked on, but his career not over for the simple fact this is the worst draft for quarterbacks. Like everybody talked about last year's draft. Last year's draft looked way better than this draft.
Most definitely.
Outside of Fernando Mendoza, everybody else is kind of just I wouldn't say bums, but they're just regular guys. Like they're good backups, just like Queen Ewers
Ty
was.
Simpson.
I mean,
Todd Simpson is a
your
backup to me.
QB two is
And
arguably Ty Simpson.
yeah. And that's
How
like that's how low the bar is. And I'm
and
a
how
Bama fan saying that.
Well, in the draft, like this QB class is so weak. Like they have Ty Simpson as your QB two in this draft,
Yeah.
and then
After the,
not to also mention QB three in this draft is Carson Beck.
and I think
Let that sink in.
and I do, but I'm not gonna lie. I do think it's a quarterback better than those two in this upcoming draft, which is Haynes King. I actually like him. I
Okay.
like some of his intangibles.
The Arkansas guy.
No, Haynes King played for who he played for. I want to say it's a gold. It's gold. It's some gold. But he's like I want to say not Georgia Tech. Can't be Georgia Tech.
UCF.
I believe
It was Georgia Tech.
Yeah, Georgia
Oh,
Tech. All right. I actually like him.
that white dude.
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually like him. But with the collar thing, I think the Steelers are a great fit.
I was gonna
Just
say, I had the list pulled up for like his potential landing spots. Steelers is on that list. Falcons are on the list. Dolphins are on the list. Jets are on the list, and Vikings are on the list.
And this is
only
for
two,
who?
Kyler
only
Murray.
only two teams that's realistic is the Jets and the Steelers.
I feel like the
Yeah.
Vikings could be realistic too if they get him as a free agent. Like definitely on like a 1 year preview deal. Because look at what we saw out of JJ McCarthy last year.
But you also don't want to take the confidence from your young quarterback by not
That
believing
part.
them when he
That part.
haven't had a full year. Like he haven't had a full year. You can say injury, you can say not being ready, but like, he hasn't had a full year. So before I take money and I put into a quarterback that's 28, when I have a quarterback that's over here that's 23, 24, I'd rather try to give him time to figure everything out. And that's the only reason why I'm not saying it's realistic. Cause like even Michael Penix, like he didn't have the worst year, but everything else can be coached into him. But you also got to be able to get an O line so he can have time. So it's like that's why I'm like the only two realistic ones is the Jets and the Steelers. And the Jets, Kyler Murray and Brees Hall, nice RPO option with Garrett Wilson makes great sense, and it could fit. You just got to get a wide receiver too and the tight end if you the
The
Jets.
only reason I agree with you that the Steelers and Jets should be the top two. The Steelers, if they bring Aaron Rodgers back, I don't think that would keep them from signing Kyler. Because I mean, shit, Aaron Rodgers probably got one more year. The Jets, I don't know if Kyler would want to go there because it's the fucking Jets.
New York,
Minnesota only makes sense if the Vikings had the mindset of we're trying to win now. And I can see that only because you have arguably one of, if not the best wide receiver in his prime.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, do you want to roll the dice and waste another year of his prime with JJ? But I do agree with you on you don't mess with the young quarterback's confidence. That's why I wouldn't push the Vikings. I think the Steelers make sense. I think the Jets do make sense. I just don't know if he would want to go there.
I just think play style with Kyler Murray is the biggest problem, and that's why I think Jets would be the best fit. Because Cardinals, you gotta be more of a pocket passer under center. It's well, that's how it is with the Vikings. You got to do more of that, and I just don't see Kyler Murray in a system where he's having to be more of a pocket passer. So that's if I'm the Vikings, I'd rather give it one more year. Worst case, you find out he's not the quarterback, and next year, hopefully, you have a high draft pick. It's going to definitely a lot better quarterback class. You can trade up and get somebody like that. I feel like that's a better situation for the Vikings, and then definitely the Steelers or the Jets. I could see making sense for Kyler Murray.
The other thing in there that kind of throws a monkey wrench and stuff is the name Malik Willis because it comes down to what some teams want to do. I mean, I don't. it's kind of unfair to compare the two because Kyler has started for so long. But it's Malik Willis is a name that has been thrown around as like a hot free agent as well. So it's
Facts.
going to be like a competition of like who do teams want to try? Do you want to give this guy a chance to prove it? Who's been a backup, or do you want to take this guy who we've seen him as a starter? He hasn't been. He has great moments. He hasn't been like the greatest, but you know kind of more of what you're getting with Kyler versus Malik Willis. So that aspect does play a part in where he could potentially land too, and not just the draft, but like the other free agents as well.
A big thing with Kyler Murray is if he doesn't get traded and the Cardinals release him, whatever team signs him, they get him for the veteran minimum of like one and a
Mm-hmm.
quarter million, because the Cardinals have to pay him the rest of the salary of his contract.
38 million.
Yeah, so he doesn't. So like whatever team picks him up, they don't like he's getting the same price. They're gonna pay him the same regardless. It's gonna be the veteran minimum. But they'll at least get to negotiate. He'll get to pick which team he goes to. That's gonna be like the biggest thing. So that's one thing where it's like cost and price isn't a big factor with Murray. You can take
I'm
a
gonna
risk.
be honest with you. A team we didn't mention, but now that I'm thinking about it, Chris, I ain't even being funny. But if I'm the Colts, I would consider signing Kyler Murray.
Ah,
I thought you were gonna say Dolphins up until you said Chris.
I would say this. Thinking about it, that it could be that is it sounds like a good thing, but it can turn into a natural disaster very quick with this.
I mean, y'all ain't
Like,
that
Yeah,
disaster.
just
true,
think
true.
about your quarterback room. He would be instantly the best quarterback on y'all roster.
He will, he
You're gonna
will,
have
but
to use AR
this
too.
I was trying to
and
move into a new team already though.
I'll say this though. I'll say this. Are we transitioning to the Daniel Jones topic too?
I
Pretty
mean, I
much with
guess
this,
it's
yeah.
All right, but I'll say this though, because I'm we ain't got transitioning right now. I would definitely say this. It can be like the reason why I say it could be a pro and a con because the pro is okay. Yeah, say for example, if we do get Kyler Murray, um, and I know that and Daniel Jones do probably decide to wherever he want to go, then it could probably be a good thing. But the only thing is though, is like that means we would have to reshape our whole offensive playbook.
No,
but
you
And
correct me
wouldn't.
if I'm
No,
wrong.
you
Isn't
wouldn't.
Daniel Jones like recovering from an Achilles?
I
Broken
mean,
leg and Achilles.
Yeah.
So, and then let me ask you this: as a Colts fan, who would you prefer to be your starting quarterback?
of course, Kyler Murray. But
See
it's
what
just
I'm saying?
it's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be one of that sense of uh like Sauce Gardner type of thing. Only because like yeah, we got the name is the hype. The hype is in the name, but it's like nigga
On that.
if he perform if
But
he performs like that, it's like nigga we back to square one.
Dude,
So,
I could
my
see a nice RPO system with that O line, with how they can get out and run block. They're athletic. They can get out and do an RPO system really well. You get him with JT, and then throw in the tight end or Pittman is or not. It's not Pittman, or is it Pittman? I can't
Pittman,
remember.
Alec
Yeah,
Pierce, and
Yeah,
It's probably gonna be
Josh
that's
yeah,
the
more.
what's
one.
Allen.
It's probably gonna be
that's
more
the
of
what's
best.
the
Alex
That's
Pierce
the
and
best way
tight
to
Pittman to
end?
get
do.
released.
That's the
Yeah,
best
what
one to get people to do an RPO with.
it is? Hold
Even
on,
like
what
an
you saying?
even like an RPO. Like you got Tyler Warren too.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Warren is what I was
Um,
thinking about.
no,
Yeah,
I
Michael Pittman's probably out
gotta.
of Indianapolis. Not gonna lie, I've been seeing talks about that all week.
I'm about to say. So, if I'm being honest, if I'm the coach, I'll look at Malik Willis before I look at Kyler Murray.
I
Um,
can agree with that.
and to be honest, he young, but he also showed a grit. Because to be honest with you, Malik Willis could have been a starter in the league. He was on that same team with Will Levis. And to be honest, Malik Willis always had the tangibles. Mike Verbal just never gave him the proper chance to show that. When he got in, it'd be run plays or it'd be him doing some short change passing, nothing downfield. And to Chris, when Chris said the Sauce Gardner thing, Sauce Gardner is also still one of the best corners in the league. If you look at the numbers, he don't get targeted as much. He only give up a few good play, like a few plays, if that. But he don't give up that many touchdowns, and he don't be having that many penalties. But I don't see the Colts really doing anything when it comes to quarterback outside of re-signing Daniel Jones.
I'm gonna
Like
also,
I could see them just tanking, not tanking, but like calling this year. It is what it is. Like Anthony Richardson, you go out there, you can show another team what you got. Cool. Next year, Daniel Jones is back, and we back on track. Just use that pick for like a wide receiver if Michael
I
Pittman
get
do
you,
dip
Jay.
out.
but I'm gonna say like this is the thing about like the Daniel Jones situation. He was offered like a similar contract of what they paid him with the Giants, but he rejected that. With Daniel Jones now he wants $40 million a year. See, me personally, if I'm the Colts and I'm seeing like hearing this from Daniel Jones, me personally, you're not a $40 million a year QB. Like I'm not paying you that much.
Collar got
Especially coming
38.
off an injury like that.
But
Collar got 38.
but the
Also,
Colts wouldn't have to pay that. Cardinals would. The Colts could sign him for a vet minimum at like
No, no, no,
1.3.
no. I'm talking about if Daniel Jones
Daniel
go back to the
Jones.
Colts. I'm saying Collar was making that same amount. So you really not kind of losing anything if you re-sign Daniel Jones. And to be like, oh, like he now 40 million. He also was in MVP talks for what the first half of the year. And
Down.
whether they want to take it or not, I'm like, you look at him and he has shown growth. Only thing that you could look at different is that his running ability might change.
I don't know because they were losing games before he got hurt. Because
That's
if you look at how they were winning, he played well. Don't get me wrong, but the majority of it was Jonathan Taylor running 3 touchdowns a game and shit like that. Once Jonathan Taylor got stalled and like neutralized, that's when the Colts started being on the decline of last season.
no. If
I
I'm
just,
the Colts, I'm
I say
definitely
this.
thinking either signing Malik Willis to like
I say,
a 2 year like prove it deal, like that's kind of cheap, or kind of just rolling with the quarterbacks I have and hoping we get like a top 5 pick and can get one of the quarterbacks in next year's draft that could sit another year behind like quarterbacks that have some experience, or if you have Malik Willis still and you end up with the top 5 pick, he could, and you don't think he's the future, you have somebody that can at least kind of start like play half the season, start the first half, and then let the rookie take over the first season. Um, I feel like they're in a good spot to really kind of get a rebound quickly with the quarterback for once. If they do it right and don't do something dumb like commit to Daniel Jones.
I'm about to say, Mike, do you know what pick the Colts got this year?
I can pull that up, but like one thing I'm thinking, like it's another like kind of like Colts possibility is like they get like Malik Willis or like Kyler
I'll say this real
Murray.
quick.
I say like the Colts will probably do something like wild and like maybe go after another project QB if they trade away Anthony Richardson. And honestly, I think the
I don't
QB they
even.
might even look at is
I,
probably like Penn State Drew Aller. Because don't get me wrong, like Drew Aller's
That was
combine
my
was pretty nice. But my thing is Drew Aller's potential is there, but he's like the biggest project in the draft.
he actually nice to me. I'm about to say I definitely like Drew Allen.
Chris, what would you do if y'all signed Kirk Cousins?
I'm a cry.
Kirk
At
That would
that
be
Cousins,
some
point,
bullshit,
at
bro.
that
That's
point, I'm
that's
gonna pull a
another way they
Simon.
do it.
I'll pull a Simon, bro. I'll lead the Colts.
you
I'm
ain't
gonna
true.
pull a. I'm gonna pull a Simon. I ain't gonna lie, nigga. I have full. I have full. I feel like I deserve to do it. If anybody had, I feel like I've been through it all.
Actually, I
Bro,
don't
That is
tell you
nothing
what.
like
Hey,
trading with
Chris,
two
I
like
don't think the
best
Colts have a
players.
first round pick.
Down.
We don't.
I was
Yeah, they don't have that
they
first round
don't
pick because they traded to the Jets.
down.
yeah.
'Cause I was finna
Chris,
say if
Hmm?
I'm
I'm
the
gonna let
coach,
Stan go.
if I'm the coach, I get Malik Willis and then I draft a nice wide receiver because you have a great wide receiver class from like Jordan Tyson on down. You have
I get
good
that.
receivers in this class
Even
to
like not in
replace
the first
Michael
round.
Pittman.
I ain't gonna lie.
Huh?
I was gonna say something a little bit more crazier. I was gonna say give away Anthony Richardson
They're trying
and
to.
probably either Alex Pierce.
Alex, that's y'all. What? That was y'all best receiver in the second half of the
Bro,
season.
yeah.
Hold on.
That's
So
what I said. It's
what?
gonna be crazy.
So what would they give them up for?
For like for one of the first round, especially like
Yeah,
I,
that's
I feel like
nasty.
That's
hold on,
not
hold
getting
on,
a first round pick,
hold
bro.
on,
You
hold on,
better
hold
have
on,
a
hold
first
on,
round pick, bro.
hold on.
You're not getting
I'll
a
say
first
this.
round pick for Pittman.
For Alex Pierce.
Pierce is the
That's
free
what I'm.
agent.
Wait, yes.
Alec Pierce is a
He broke his heart with that.
bro. Doesn't even know his own team. Alec Pierce is a free agent.
Come on, Chris.
Damn,
Yeah,
I'm hurt.
you didn't even like him like that because you wasn't a fan of
What
him
you
before
mean?
last year. Before last year, you did not know about no Alec Pierce.
I did.
What did he do the year before?
What you mean?
What was he known for the year before? So you got to think about it. You don't remember the two Hail Marys from Anthony Richardson? Not Hail Marys, but like them two deep bombs in the same game from AR-15? No, you don't
Oh, yeah, I
remember.
remember that.
No, yeah, now you do. You wasn't a fan of Alec Pierce.
But still, that still hurt me though. I don't care what you say. You can
Yeah,
coach check all you want. That shit don't affect me. I'm still hurt.
I'm gonna sign Kirk Cousins and let him wear number 18. Disrespectfully.
Dude, I could see the Colts honestly doing some shit like that, bro. Like I could see them doing that before signing any other quarterback to a cheap prove it year deal that like could actually be something and be their franchise quarterback. Like hell no.
Chris,
If they can go,
How would you feel if they traded Anthony Richardson for Kyler Murray? And what if AR actually like balls out in the Cardinals and like Kyler's like nobody on the Colts?
I don't even feel. I'll say this:
Chris
as much
becomes
as I,
starting.
as much as I like Anthony Richardson, it's like part of me, my heart was still going to support him, but my mind's knowing it's like once he get back healthy, he's not going to be the same.
How's he not gonna
if
be the
he ever
same?
get
He
healthy,
fractured his his orbital bone, like the eye bone near his eye. How's he not gonna be the same?
Nigga,
Like he
you
can
know,
still run and do everything. He probably just can't put a helmet on right now or do physical content.
that's what I'm saying. Like I have a feeling it's gonna affect him somehow, some way.
You're telling me he's never gonna be able to wear a helmet again
No, I'm not.
over a broken bone?
No, but
No
I'm just saying.
heels?
I'm just saying though, it's not gonna. All right, let
I
me
mean,
ask
he
you,
can play football. So
because you make it seem like he's gonna turn into a god when he get back on the field.
I'm saying, what if he gets traded to Arizona for Kyler and he balls out with Arizona and Kyler doesn't ball out with Indianapolis?
I mean, I won't even be hurt at that point. That nigga, it's just another coast curse.
I mean, y'all did Payne wrong. Y'all did Andrew Luck wrong. I don't expect
We
much.
didn't really do no.
Don't say y'all didn't do
Again,
Andrew Luck wrong. Don't say
I
that.
mean,
make that man retire. Force
we
him
had a
to
trash on line.
retirement.
Whenever he came back healthy, that was the only year he had a decent, good top 10 O line. For the rest of his entire career, bottom O line.
he lacerated the kidney, Chris.
Had a puncture
That's
lung
the whole
during one
line.
play.
I don't know.
That's their like
Man said,
organization, not
man
a team
said
around.
the O line, bro. That is like fundamentally one of your most important pieces on a team.
Well, looking at it from a coach standpoint, like from the mindset, our thought was, nigga, we can develop a O line.
Yeah, that's not how that works most of the
That
time.
shit did not develop.
I mean, we
Didn't
see that now.
didn't develop until Andrew
Well,
Luck retired.
that's what I
Bless
said.
you.
I appreciate you. That's what I said. It was just too little, too late.
Yeah, because y'all fell to
So y'all
Andrew
did it
Luck.
wrong.
Huh?
Y'all did it wrong.
I mean,
Y'all fell to Andrew Luck. Y'all had a generational QB, and you failed him. Arguably, I would say this is like the biggest what if, but like the way Andrew
Since
Luck
you want
played,
David.
like the way Andrew Luck played, he'd probably be like the second best
if
QB in
Andrew
the
Luck
league right
played,
now.
if Andrew was still around today and played like how he was back then, now he
He
would
would
definitely be at the
be
Super Bowl.
top two in the league.
Nah, I can't go that far. I can't go that far.
Top two?
He wouldn't be top 2 in the league.
Because I have a
So,
opinion he would be better than Mahomes and like Allen.
Well, I got
And
Mahomes at
Lamar.
one. I would say Luck could outduel.
Man, if we got to see like Luck in his prime, bro,
Bro, prime Andrew
I
Luck
don't
versus
see a
prime Patrick
scenario where
Mahomes,
he's
dude.
like just as good as Allen, if not better.
no, I can see.
I don't. I can see it, but we didn't get to, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm
no,
about to say,
This
at
is
most, I would just say 5. Cause I'm still taking Lamar, Pat. I'm taking Josh Allen, and I'm taking Burrow over
I mean,
Andrew Luck.
we are just in what if, so
Yeah,
not gonna get too deep in this, but like we were saying, like what we saw with like Andrew Luck, y'all had a generational QB and y'all failed him. Like just
Right.
let that sink in, Chris.
That's why I said being a coach fan is hard.
you chose that life.
I did.
You're not from NF.
You're right.
Acting like
Said
I
you
just
have 3
didn't.
teams.
Bro's acting like I just didn't
Okay,
witness the no
all
call
3
and the
better than your
Minneapolis
team.
Miracle.
So why you
All
ain't rooting
3
for why were you ain't rooting for the Patriots?
And even if I said I was rooting for them, they was just in the Super Bowl. So next point.
Yeah, that
But
was
you just
that was.
Because even
I
if you
mean
say the Ravens, still better than the Colts. Next point.
He also
I
said the
think
Browns. You should have said the Browns, Chris.
I didn't say that was my favorite. I said that's who I would talk about.
eh,
I won't say that, but I
Yeah,
was just letting them talk, but you beat me. I mean my nacho.
Brown's still kind of low key better than the Colts, but I'm
Hell
just
no.
saying.
Now you just saying shit.
You wanna,
That's I
hold
can't.
on.
Now you saying
You
shit. Mike,
wanna,
that's a flag
I,
right there
I'll
itself.
put my I'll put money
I
on
don't
my
know,
That's
mouth.
a flag
man.
right there itself.
I'll put money where my mouth is.
I don't know,
Pause.
man. I feel like if Shadur would have actually like played a little bit better whenever he played, or they actually had like competent QB, I would argue that the
Shadur,
Colts could be up there.
if they
But
Shadur,
throw the play,
he's
yeah.
gonna be up there this year.
but
Shador's
he
gonna.
he was playing, and he's part of the Browns.
I'm just saying, Mike, that's a
To
flag worthy
Chris's point,
statement right there.
I will say the Colts were better than the Browns this
That's why I
year.
said
Yeah,
if Shador, if they had a competent QB play, like if Shador played a little better, or they had a competent QB.
I mean, I also feel like they didn't kind. Shadur didn't really have. I'm not gonna lie. I don't look at Jerry. Excuse me. I don't look at Jerry Judy as all that. So
Yeah, Jerry
I
Judy's
feel like you
actually
have a
terrible.
team, huh?
I would say Judy's terrible, but the 2 tight ends were pretty good this year.
But Njoku was hurt. Junkins ended up getting hurt, but he pushed the ball downfield better than the other quarterbacks that they have. I can already say he better than Deshaun. I can
They should
already say
they
he
just
better
need
than
a receiver. They need to draft a good receiver to help them or pick up someone in free agency.
Jordan Tyson.
but
That
think
way,
about what y'all
that way you
saying.
get a fair shake of the quarterback. And if he doesn't work, you got everyone locked in, and then you can move on to your next quarterback in a sense. But you got to give him a fair shot. You can't be pulling him in and out. That's some fucked up shit.
Think about what y'all saying though, like, cause I'm not disagreeing with it. It's all facts, but you basically saying if their quarterback played better and they had a better number one receiver, they would be better than the Colts. But and
That's
that's
it.
kind of like that kind of applies to almost every team though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
No,
I'm just.
Colts are definitely better than Browns right now.
Browns
I'll
may
bet
have
money
had a
on
better defense than the Colts.
for next year. Next year, with this upcoming season, Chris, we can put money on it.
Now
Brown
that I agree with. I think the
gonna be
Browns
better.
will be better than the Colts this year.
Even if y'all get Collar, gonna be better than the Colts.
Oh yeah, facts this year.
If the Browns draft Jordan Tyson, and then just say hypothetically speaking, Stephon Diggs go to the Browns, you already got a good receiving core with Harold Fanning. Junkins gonna come back. You got Diggs. You got Jordan Tyson.
And
It's like
defense is solid.
Let's also throw in a bold take in here. Let's say Deshaun Watson returns back to his form whenever he's back in Houston.
You get massages again.
that's who the Colts need. Deshaun. Maybe y'all stay afloat.
That dude washed, bro. That
Maybe y'all
dude,
stay afloat.
he's in the like washing machine right now, just waiting to get put in the fucking dryer, bro. That dude washed.
I tell you what,
You got one
that's
more
the
ring
most
in him.
that's the most expensive loaded clothes I ever seen. That's
Yeah.
230
All
million.
guaranteed. All
That's
guaranteed.
230 million.
Man,
Oh,
if I was guaranteed that just to be on a roster, I'd be hurt too.
Yeah, he getting paid more than Lamar Jackson. Let that sink in.
the funny part is that Deshaun Watson was like kind of like hey, we got to make at least his number now.
Yeah, and the Ravens was like, nah, that was some. The Ravens basically told Lamar the Browns was crazy as hell for doing that, and as great as we think you are, we're not doing that.
Man, I'm so glad in Sean Payton's last year that I know the Saints were in like the market for trading for Deshaun, but I'm so glad they didn't get him.
Uh,
Hey, Mike, what if Kyler Murray go to the Saints?
Kellen Moore's not gonna go after Kyler. You didn't see
You don't
what they
think
saw.
so?
Nah, there was enough flashes with Tyler Shug to prove to everybody that Shug is gonna be a QB going forward in the next season.
I ain't gonna lie, Shuck is nice. I actually like Shuck.
Yeah, I feel like they're
I thought it
committed
was
to.
crazy when he got drafted.
I mean, everybody hated the pick until like they wanted Shadur over Shug, but until they saw how he played the back end of the season.
He's pretty fire at the back end. A lot of highlights
Yeah,
coming
he
out.
did.
Game winners.
He definitely brought a spark to that New Orleans offense that Spencer Rattler wasn't bringing, but also to like Rattler's defense, to his defense, he kind of didn't have like I would say more like the offensive line or like his playmaker. I don't know. I really can't defend Spencer that much anymore. But I still think like
Yeah,
I don't truly want to give up on Spencer Rattler either. I feel like Spencer could be like a solid starting QB in this league.
I feel like he could be a solid backup, like a good backup, like
I feel like
a
he's
top tier.
definitely like more of your game manager, top tier backup. Yeah, I can see that.
That I don't agree, but I just don't like Spencer Rattler. Didn't like him in college. I didn't think he was all that.
He was
So
at Oklahoma, huh?
Oklahoma,
Yeah.
then he went
Yeah.
to South Carolina.
Hey,
That's right.
Oklahoma just Jason Witten's
Yeah.
son.
Wait, if I'm not mistaken, did Spencer Rattler went to Arkansas too?
No, just Oklahoma and South Carolina.
The college, they too close. That's why I can see where you're coming from with that, Chris.
And they're close state wise.
Yeah.
Since we're still talking about teams and everything and trades, Terrence, how you feel about the Texans getting David Montgomery, another 28-year-old running back?
To be honest with you, I kind of like the move just because, like, what we gave up, I wasn't too mad about. Like, Juice Shrugs, good riddance. I mean, he cool, but I wasn't too messed up about getting rid of him. We didn't give up too much draft capital. We gave up some late round picks, but I think the style of running game that we have, having a guy that's like a veteran, he's basically like another version of Joe Mixon. I wouldn't say he's quite prime Joe Mixon just because I don't know if he's that out the backfield. But when you look at our running game last year and what we did with Woody Marks, if you have Montgomery as your lead back and Woody Marks comes in periodically, I think that bodes for a good running game. But I think it all really comes down to what we do for our O line. Like, I think it's a good move, but if we don't shore up the O line, it's kind of irrelevant.
I
Not
mean,
facts.
whenever I saw the move, I mean, it's kind of like I don't even know how to explain it because like the way like Woody plays and David Montgomery plays, they have very similar styles, so it's not really one of them complements the other. They're kind of like the same back. It's like Woody's just younger than David.
I think that's kind of the idea of it, though. Like, I know the Lions for their style was you got power and then you got speed, but our offense isn't necessarily that, and you don't necessarily need it to be that way. Because, like, take the Seahawks for example. Like Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker did a lot of the same things. They weren't necessarily different styles. It's just that you put one of them in fresh and you get that all game. And I feel like
Run down quicker.
yeah, like imagine having a like Woody Marks do the first two drives in the second half, and then in the middle of the third quarter, you throw a fresh David Montgomery in there. Like that type of shit wears the defense down.
I also kind of like see
You
your
break
point.
some long runs that way too, because Especially if you get a good, I mean, if they can get their O line built up to where the running back can get to the second level free, like, dude, they the way they run, you break one tackle, you're getting a big run right there, maybe a touchdown.
I will
Yeah,
also say,
I'm a,
like, with the RB committee, like, with two running backs of the same style, you can kind of, like, just go to whoever has a hot hand that game.
That part.
yeah. But I'm about to say, then you also don't y'all still got Joe Mixon in the contract?
No,
No, we let him go.
Oh damn! I'm about to
It was
say,
because
They was
it's
a
because
good
of
running
health.
back.
I'm pretty
Because
sure he's waiting on the. I'm pretty sure it's like the same thing, waiting on the new league year to let him go.
yeah, but he didn't play all last season for an undisclosed foot injury, and his health is kind of up in the air. So
Yeah.
like, it's one of even the season he did play with, he was in and out of the lineup. So I'm not mad at getting like moving on from Joe Mixon. I am good with the fact because I didn't want Woody. I like Woody Marks, but I didn't want him to necessarily be RB1. I think he's a
yeah.
good complementary back. So him being a good number two, I'm cool with that because I think they're going to like kind of split the touches. Obviously, Montgomery will get the majority of it, but Woody Marks will be a good compliment.
Wait,
And then like the red
wait,
zone, that helps
who was
us.
y'all running back to? Who was y'all
Woody
running back
Marks.
to?
I
it
mean,
was
Woody
it
Marks.
was
I'm talking about. 'Cause I know Rudy Marks was
it was
majority
Nick Chubb.
start.
It was
Who's
Nick
like,
Chubb. No, Nick Chubb
Uh,
started, and then Woody Marks was running back too. But as the season progressed,
mm,
nah,
Nick Chubb.
they flipped it though.
Yeah, that's what I said. As the season went on, but y'all have a nice third string back as well.
Jordan,
Yes,
yeah.
I
yeah,
actually like him more than Woody Marks. I actually like him more than Woody Marks.
and that's what I'm saying. Like our
Isn't he
running
like
back
more of
room
your
is
pass?
solid.
Isn't that running back more of like your pass catching type of running back?
I also feel like he the fastest
If he
running
was
back.
third down back,
I feel like he also the fastest running back y'all have. So like when I look at
Yeah,
it, I look at stuff and I go off of like the old teams. I'm not gonna lie. I'm bringing David Montgomery in there. You my Pierre Thomas, Juwan Jordan, or Woody Marks. Y'all be Darren Sproles. That's how I'm
exactly.
looking at it. Steven Jackson, Michael Turner. That's kind of how I want it.
And that's a good formula to have for our team. I think it'll help CJ, especially in like pass protection and shit like that. And then the red zone is the biggest thing, bro. Having somebody like David Montgomery who can like get those extra yards and shit when we're down there, I like the move overall. Like we didn't give up too much, and and it's not like he's 30. We got a good year or two of him still in his prime to go.
where do y'all pick this year? Like 26?
No, I think we picked like at 18.
Okay,
I
18.
know, I know we got a later first round, but in the second round we have a high pick. We pick like in the top six of every other round except for the first.
So
Okay.
first round, y'all probably gonna be 26 or 26 pick. 20,
Yeah,
yeah.
but then we like right back in the second round, and then we in the third round we pick high too. So like I think we going I would prefer us to go O line and all of that type of stuff. Sure that up, build it through free agency, build it through the draft.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, honestly,
yeah,
if y'all just get an O line together and you keep all your free agents,
yeah.
like, you're talking about an actual, like, like shot at the Super Bowl now.
I think
If to
That's
go
kind
off of
I
what
think
Terrence was saying, though, Houston has the 28th pick, but I'm also looking at a mock draft and they're like in a projection to trade out of the first round. But y'all do
yeah.
have a high second round, which if y'all trade out of the first round with Arizona, y'all are gonna have the 34th pick.
Yeah. So like I'm not mad at it. Like we got a late first round, but we got two second rounders. I think we got I forget if we got two third rounders or not. But like we got a good like setup for the draft. And we could trade those picks obviously too. Trade back, trade up, whatever we need to do. But
I think
yeah,
the
I
draft is,
like
like, middle heavy this year, too, kind of. So, like, that round, like, kind of third round, fourth round, I think that's kind of a like, big area where a lot of players kind of, like, can get some steals more than
Also,
normal.
Terrence y'all's picks without those trades that I'm mentioning, y'all obviously have pick number 28. Then going into round two, y'all have pick 38, pick 59. That's the only ones. So you got 38 and 59, which are arguably some pretty solid draft
yeah,
position picks.
I'm not mad at that.
actually, I like what the Texans doing. I just don't believe in CJ like that for me to
Yeah,
say
that's what it
playoff
come down
success or
to. So.
anything.
I feel like if the Texans can really just get a run game going, and like if CJ can just be in a position where it's no pressure and like he can literally just kind of like drop back, like you're gonna pass, but it's not like in a you have to make it kind of like scenario. As long as he's not putting a lot of those scenarios, I think he'd be pretty good. But
I think
that's why it's dependent on like having such a good run game with them and really good receivers.
I think it'll be his second year in the system. So hopefully, I can't speak with like certainty, and that's not me trying to down him. I'm just being honest and being objective with CJ. I would hope he will be better in the system. Another thing I hope that he has is health in the receiver room. That's not an excuse for what he did by any means. But I will say, in all of his playoff losses, he's been missing one of his key targets. The 2 years before, we were missing Tank Dell, and then this year he didn't have Nico, Tank Dell, and he lost Dalton Schultz early. So if he keeps them, and it's like even when we had Stephon Diggs was in and out, and then ultimately went down with the ACL. So I'm not trying to make excuses because he has to play better. Please don't get me wrong. But if we get that, I think we'll see him play a little bit better with that too, because then you're able to build that chemistry and that consistency. When guys are constantly in and out, and you don't have an O line, that shit is stuck.
But yeah, Krishna Kirk stepped up.
But
Facts.
that wasn't our number one all season.
It wasn't, but also some of them passes that he threw to Jaden Higgins and everything like that, those fall on
Right.
CJ. I
Yeah,
can
no,
get you
that's what
saying
I'm
consistency. No,
saying,
no, no,
bro.
no,
Like,
no, no. I'm listening, but I'm saying like in reference to like the consistency, he also has
yeah,
to be
I
more
agree with that.
consistent. Like it's
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He has to play better. But I'm saying if he gets that, I think it'll help him be better. I also think you'll see Jaden Higgins and Noel, like they'll take another step. This will be their second year, their sophomore year. So I think all of that stuff, they're going to be better this year too. I expect more from Jaden Higgins this year, especially if Nico is in and out, because Nico has a history with hamstrings. But if we can get one of those guys to like really step up and potentially even take over that number one like responsibility, we'll be straight.
or y'all did they bring back Krishna Kirk?
Uh,
I think he
I
I'm
don't
be
might.
know.
honest.
Don't let me
They
lie
better.
to you.
I
I
feel.
honestly don't remember.
I thought he was still on the contract for at least
He
like one
might
more
be.
year. I think he still has one more
I
year in
think
his deal.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I'm not
And then
lying.
you get Tank down back. I don't know what to really expect from that. I think that's just more of a morale type of thing. Because him and CJ came in together. I don't really expect much from Tank, as I don't think people should. That dude have been through a lot. He have been shot. He had tore every ligament in the knee,
Facts.
dislocated his kneecap. So I'm not expecting him to be how he was his rookie year, nothing like that. It would just be cool to have him back on the field.
I will also say really quick about the Trim McDuffie. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
his name.
Oh yeah.
I did not expect Kansas City to trade away their lockdown corner.
Dude, I've heard a
Like
lot
the
of rumors
Rams
going
did.
around. I've heard a lot of rumors going around, especially with them and the Cowboys making a trade for McDuffie. I was honestly surprised as to like they did trade him, but good for the Rams, man. Let's go.
No lie, it
Think for
made
the Rams, it's a show that they're pushing all their chips and like they're trying to get a second ring out of Matthew Stafford, bro.
They need a pass rusher though. They need to sign a free agent pass rusher from. They need one of those bad right now. They
They
could
need
they
That's
got
definitely.
who.
they need
I
someone
mean, I ain't
also
gonna
like
lie.
Jared Verse.
Yeah, but they need somebody else.
no,
But
they
guess
got a
who
good D
just
tackle.
became a free agent though? Trey Hendrickson. The Bengals let him be unrestricted. So imagine if Trey Hendrickson goes to the Rams and you got Trey McDuffie and Jared Verse on that fucking team. Now your defense is just as you got just as much talent on the defense as the offense, and now they're a real fucking problem.
Yes,
I
you're in
agree.
win now mode because especially getting Hendrickson, like that dude's not long term. He's not a long term like option or fix to a problem.
Anderson's more of like your short term if you're trying to win now. Kind of like fixes the problem. Kind of like
That's
just
And with
what
puts
I'm
a
Stafford,
trying
that's
to.
what they're doing.
kind of just like puts like a flexi seal or something like that over the problem
I
until
think I think they putting all the stock into this year. and then Matthew Stafford retires, and they're kind of damn near rebuild mode or like reset mode, if you will, after that.
I'm not even gonna lie. I do think they need a linebacker. I think they need a
I
linebacker
agree.
more than anything, especially a coverage linebacker.
I feel like it's something that you can get in the draft too, this year's draft, because this, if you also like saw this core of linebackers that's coming in, it's a pretty solid class of linebackers that's coming in.
Do they even have a draft pick left that allows them to have a chance at a good linebacker?
You can probably get one
Ooh.
second or third.
Yeah, because the Rams had 2 first-round picks. They traded their late first round, I believe.
Yeah, it was their
Oh,
like
so
first
they
round.
still have another first. They still have a first round this year.
Yeah, they have a
Okay.
first round, I think.
Oh, yeah, they're hella set up then. Yeah, they're like 28th, 29th.
I like the Rams this year. This upcoming year.
Like 30th.
Yeah, they have the 13th pick, and they got that pick from the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah,
Damn.
they traded the 28th pick. Like that first round pick.
They had the 29th pick, and that's what they got for McDuffie.
Okay, damn, that's a steal for them because having a 13th pick, they can get a hella good player. Even if they want, even if the player they're wanting, they can get it further and later in the first, they can trade back, get more draft picks for that year. And
where are the Styles brothers predicted mock draft wise?
Top 10, top 15, both of them together, I think.
Because I'm not gonna lie, if one of them dropped down to the Rams, it'll be amazing. Especially safety.
I said they had.
So Sonny Styles.
I was gonna say for pick 13 with the Rams, they're projected to get the tight end out of Oregon.
Oh, he nice.
Yeah, Sadiq, he ran a 4.3, bro.
Yeah, Sadiq nice. I ain't gonna lie, Sadiq is nice.
They could upgrade at tight end too. So you get that with Puka and Adams. How are you gonna survive in the red zone? How are you gonna survive at all?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Sonny Styles making it out of the top 10.
They got Sonny Styles going 5th to the Giants.
Yeah, I don't think.
Top
10.
Who was the other stop? What was the other one's name? First name?
Get his first name. I know Sonny is a safety though.
Safety, man. That's okay. That's what I hope the Cowboys get.
I forget what was the brother name. What's his brother name?
Is it Saul? It's not Saul, right?
Lorenzo Styles.
Lorenzo Styles. Okay. Yeah.
Sonny Styles. That man won the Olympics, bro. That man had a great 40, had the best vert, had the best broad. Shit was crazy, bro.
Yeah, I was that's why I was like, if he falls, any chance he falls, if I'm the Rams, I would grab him. I would grab Lorenzo off the Rams.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's a top 5 pick.
I'm not seeing Lorenzo in the first round.
Because if I'm not I like Sadiq at tight end, but I also feel like they could get Isaiah Likely, for example, versus drafting Sadiq. Isaiah Likely is still a red zone target, and he also does good in the red zone. So it's you got a proven tight end who just played behind Mark Andrews, and Mark Andrews still young. I would get Likely.
And you're about to be with a better passing quarterback.
I'm going to throw this in real quick for you said Lorenzo Styles is projected as a day 3 pick, so going anywhere from 4th to 7th.
All right, so I would get him as a sleeper pick if I'm the Rams, but I just feel like you can get a veteran tight end to have the same success. You already got Puka and Devontae. Isaiah Likely is just another great red zone target or a red zone threat. And he's actually fast, know how to work with improv and all that. So, but I do like Sadiq going to the Rams. That's tough. That's tough.
Oh, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the Rams do rest of free agency and through draft. They could make themselves legit Super Bowl contenders.
Speaking of free agency, Simon, what you think y'all gonna do with George Pickens? I mean, I know y'all franchise tagged him, but what's your feelings about it?
There's 2 things that could happen. Either they're gonna trade him or they're gonna sign him to a long-term contract for less, like that's gonna be less of a cap hit than what it currently is.
But
I'm fine with signing him long term, but I just don't want him to be like. I honestly don't care, but I just don't like the only thing I don't want to happen is him to get signed long term
Wait,
with like
is George
a
is
large
George
cap
taking
hit
is he transitional tag or franchise tag?
franchise tag.
franchise.
For
But
like franchise tag is a $28 million franchise this year, like 28.2, I think, or something like that.
I don't
20,
know.
20.
It's like 28 almost, I think.
It's 28 point something, I think, or 27.8.
But
I don't know.
I think a sneaky move that y'all did today was restructuring Dak, and I think it was Tyrone Smith. Y'all opened
And
up like
CD
uh,
Lamb.
y'all opened up like $40 million in cap space,
Yeah,
and the
we can
and
still
the
do more
cap
restructuring too.
and the cap league wide went up
Yeah.
$20 million.
Now we were 56 over the cap, but I'm fine with either like trading Pickens and like I don't know if we could get a first round pick. I doubt it, but who knows? Maybe.
I think we probably get like a
Um,
high second round, high to mid second out of them.
You can probably
I'd
get
be down with
second
that.
round.
For like that
Yeah.
franchise tag on Pickens is 27.3 mil. I see more
So
if you can't if Dallas can't get him long term. Definitely see him more as like you tagged him just so you can be able to trade him later on.
and like I'd honestly be fine with trading him to get like another like really good like some defensive player that would like fill a hole that we need. But I'm like, as long as it's not as long as it's not a long term, like large amount of money, like commitment to him, I'm fine with it. Whatever happens. But I definitely think, I don't know, I'm interested to see what's going to happen. They can definitely restructure more deals, make more cap space, a lot more actually. So like, they could actually make a big trade for like somebody with a large salary hit. I would kind of like them to trade one of the first round picks for a like proven veteran, but not somebody that's like old or like injury prone. That's the one thing that's like has me really concerned. Is like Jerry Jones been saying he's gonna like make a big move, but I feel like he's gonna fuck up and like get somebody that's like not even gonna contribute really.
I feel like his big move. I mean, kind of like where you're going. He's probably gonna go in and do something stupid, or his big move is gonna be like trading down in the draft just to get more draft capital. Because every time he says
Yeah,
he's gonna
totally.
do something big, it's either like he does something stupid or he trades down out of the like further down to the first round or like completely out of it.
No, honestly, I would really like. Cowboys definitely need a like with the new scheme. They need like an outside linebacker. If there's with them switching to a 3-4, but I would actually love to see them trade up and get the safety Styles.
Styles, that'd be tough.
With the scheme that like Christian Parker wants to run, his defensive scheme, like the nickel safety position is the most important position on his team for him. So if you can get somebody of that caliber, man, you got a massive like chess like game piece that you can just wreck with. So like at that point, if they could trade up and get him, like it would be dope if they could somehow get like a good outside linebacker in free agency. Because I also feel like they're gonna go after the Eagles linebacker N'Kobe Dean. I think I feel like they're gonna go like after him a lot.
I like N'Kobe Dean.
I will
That'd be
say
nice.
it depends on how like if Dallas decides to like hold that first round or and let's say they hold on the George Pickens and try to like trade up like higher into the draft, say like top 5. I would say you want Styles, but let's say they get like pick 5 and like Caleb Downs is also there. That's like a generational safety that you got like in your hand that you traded up for.
Or yeah, I'd honestly be fine. Like either one, I'd be fine with. Like they'd be a really good chess piece with uh, Parker. Like I think they'd be really good. The only thing is like if they trade Pickens, they do need to get another receiver. And so if they trade Pickens, it'd be dope for them to like maybe go after JSN, get JSN with CD
Come on.
and Ferguson.
Whoa.
I'm throwing the flag like you
Come
guys
on,
got
ASN.
JSN. That man,
Is
That man ain't going nowhere.
They
that
signed him
man,
up. He's a free agent.
JSN is not leaving Seattle. That man is still on his rookie
That ain't
contract.
no
Got
free.
that 5th
Oh,
year.
is it next year? He's a free agent.
You
That
slip
man,
that in
that
there.
man is not going in the free agency. Let's be real.
Throw a flag.
Yeah, no, they're gonna lock him
I
up.
already
But
Full flag, ref.
He said that's
already
okay. He
did.
said, yeah, we did.
What do you want me to
Hey,
throw
go
another
Stars.
one?
Go Stars. That's all I gotta say. Go Stars. The one good Dallas team we got.
Yeah, and they ain't winning nothing.
Man, wait, we're the second best team in the league right now. We've been top 3 team all year.
That don't mean you gonna win. I'll still take Tampa Bay over y'all.
Oh hell no.
And I don't watch that much hockey.
Well, I will say, so sticking like with football though, I kind of want to talk about the Saints a bit because I didn't get to do that all that season because the Saints are terrible. But like going into the draft, I mean, like at pick 8, like I think we're in a perfect position because I feel like in the first round we either gotta go like wide receiver. I would say if that wide receiver out of Ohio State's there, I forgot his name. I feel like they may take him, or if Jeremiah Love is still up there, I feel like they're gonna go Jeremiah Love too.
That's
I've been
what I was
seeing
gonna
more
say.
like mock drafts. I feel like they're gonna lean more towards Jeremiah Love because I know Kellen Moore is like more of your head coach that wants to move the ball, and just like the type of player like Jeremiah Love is, you get a player of that caliber. And if, say you keep Alvin Kamara on the roster, you got Kamara to down New Orleans to mentor Jeremiah Love for like maybe a year or two. That man could really like take off.
I was gonna say Jeremiah Love would be a great fit for y'all.
Dude, that'd be nice.
Mike, can you do me a favor? Can you tell Cam Jordan ass it's about time to go ahead and hang them cleats up?
I mean, he had a solid season, but yeah, just for him to go. I'm just I'm just more scared because like I know Demario Davis is also got test free agency too. Because definitely like coming off the year, like at his age, still like in his prime, like that man's destined for like a decent contract, and I don't think New Orleans is gonna pay the money that he wants.
Demario Davis?
Yeah, Demario Davis is a free agent.
I ain't gonna lie.
That ain't even being funny, Mike. Like what? Because I know y'all got a lot of like holes I need to fill. What do you think y'all should prioritize with the draft with the Saints?
I know, so I'm gonna go like the whole 9 yards or like off season. I know for off season, for free agency, like specifically, I would rather us like build our interior offensive line, mostly like our guards, because I know like we're good at tackles, we're good at center. If Eric McCoy stays healthy, we got a top 5 center. Then Banks and Fuaga like arguably like a solid tackle duo. I mean, Kevin Banks Jr. was arguably the best tackle in last year's draft. Arguably like one of the best young tackles in the league right now. Same with Fuaga. If he stays healthy, another top tackle. We just need like someone like our guards are like terrible, dude. So I feel like if we can get like a solid guard or two in free agency, I would also say like get a few like pieces on the D line as well. We'd be all right.
You think I need to move on from Kamara?
Oh yeah,
dude. As much as I hate to say it, yeah, dude. Kamara's time is just about up. But I mean, at the same time, if you get Jeremiah Love, if you can get Kamara to like restructure, I feel like Kamara could more so like complement Jeremiah Love. If we would get Jeremiah Love in the draft in the first round, I would still say like Jeremiah Love has got to be RB1 on day one, but I feel like Kamara would definitely be able to like slide more into that role. Like his kind of like his rookie year with whenever he had like Mark Ingram going back to like that RB2 kind of like role. He's not gonna be like your home run hitter, but Kamara can still get you like those yards that you need.
I mean, he's pass game, he's efficient, and he's a safety blanket. But don't y'all need corners too?
I mean, Kool-Aid McKissick came on pretty well towards like the back half of the season. Everyone kind of likes more like his bad plays, but if you see like those plays that he really got burnt on, it was in like zone coverage.
If I'm the Saints, I'm gonna take advantage of a defensive draft and like I'm definitely gonna get Love, but after that, man, I'm gonna deal with the guards I got for now. I'll get guards next season or in free agency, and then just get a bunch of defensive players with how good it is.
Yeah, definitely like with that, like first round, if you can get like Jeremiah Love, Carnell Tate, that was the other wide receiver, Carnell Tate.
Yeah,
so
that's his name. Yeah.
If we lose out on like say Jeremiah Love is like out of like taking top 5, if Cardinal Tate slips there, I mean, you got somebody to complement Chris Olave.
What do y'all pick?
I know we have. I think we're like pick 8. We have like early picks almost just about everywhere.
You're right. You because you said it when you first started.
I'm about to.
You don't think y'all would trade up to get like a Jeremiah Love? Or y'all think y'all stay put?
I think we're gonna stay put at pick 8. I would be really surprised if they like trade up. Because really,
I feel like the Titans are the only team that really takes a threat to drafting Love, right? Because they're the only team above you that really kind of needs a running back.
You said the Titans?
Yeah.
I mean, they got Pollard and they got Sharp. But I mean, like New Orleans picks this year, they got the 8th pick, they got pick 42, they got pick 73. In the 4th round, we got pick 132, 136. 5 is 148, 170, and then 6th round after that, we're done. We got pick number 188. But also, like my thing too is like, you know, we kind of like seen in drafts, like we talked about like the generational safeties like Kyle Hamilton. I can't remember, like Derwin James too. Like they've all slipped. I've also seen like talks to saying if like Caleb Downs like somehow or actually slips like number 8. Me personally, if I'm New Orleans, you gotta go with best player available at pick 8 and go Caleb Downs if he's there. But if Downs isn't there, if Tater Love is there at 8, we go Tater Love. And after pick 8 gives you like generational offensive piece, you go straight defense.
No, I feel like y'all kind of held yourself back. I'm not gonna lie. Even though Demario Davis is good, he's also damn near 35. I think him and Cam Jordan should have been gone. I think they should have been traded away. Even when you mentioned the Rams, hey, what would y'all give me for Cam Jordan? Y'all give me anything nice?
I mean, for like Cam Jordan, I feel if Cam Jordan does like come back for another season, let's say he does like re-sign with New Orleans, I would hope that he would take like a veterans minimum at least. I just know with Demario Davis just coming out the year he had another like all pro season. Like Demario still has a lot left in the tank from what he's been showing. Like he's got to slow down, so I know he's gonna like demand a heavy contract. So I think we lose Demario Davis in free agency because I'm thinking Chicago's gonna be the one that ends up giving him the bag.
But y'all still got P. Warner.
Liability and coverage, though.
All right, Demario Davis, at this age, how many more years do you think he gonna be a coverage linebacker?
I would say at least
he's
like
gonna have to drop down to be Bobby Wagner and just sit in that middle and play zone.
Or say at least 1 or 2. But I mean, I know we got that line. I think it was Studfield. I know Studfield like showed some promise as well to like take over the reins. I will say though, like I've been watching like tape on Texas Tech's linebacker. I think Jacob Rodriguez.
He nice.
I know
he was the only thing that concerned me about
quote unquote like
undersized.
I know he's like quote unquote undersized, but I mean like vast majority of these athletes coming out of college, you're gonna be undersized. That's when you get to the league. Normally, like most of these college athletes like start to bulk up because you go from like a college workout to the NFL workout.
I think with linebacker, though, a big part is vision. If you can see the blocks and see everything forming well, you can kind of read things quickly and be able to get to a good leverage point to where you can kind of use your size and undersizedness to like your leverage. But you gotta have good vision to be able to play undersized.
I mean, y'all got the 8th pick. Sonny Styles? Wasn't that someone we mentioned?
I mean,
I don't know if he get out of top 5.
Kind of like the things with like safeties too, though. Like we have solid safeties, and I think Sanker was his last name that we got last year. He showed like promise to hold it down, opposite of Justin Reed.
But Justin you can also
like a fairly solid safety. It's mostly, I know, like our other corner opposite Kool-Aid is Quincy Riley. I know he still needs a little bit more developing. It's more of like our nickel back that we're gonna be losing in Alante Taylor. And I'm pretty sure we're not going to retain him because he's going to want at least $15 million a year.
I feel like a big factor of this is, do y'all really think that the Giants and Titans, because they both draft before the Saints, right?
Yeah. I know for
Do
sure.
you think they really actually go and get like an O lineman to help their quarterbacks, or do you
I can
think
see
they
that.
go and like get some defensive player? Like I feel like that's what it really kind of comes down to at the end of the day.
I feel like Titans and I mean for Titans, I feel like they're gonna go more O line to help like Cam Ward.
Yeah, for sure.
I know for
They
like
need to.
Giants, I don't know where. I feel like the Giants have more holes in on their defense than they do their offense. Because I feel like with the
They
Giants, they
could
can
do
go
something like
like
that. Oh,
they can do like the same thing with that New Orleans could do in like free agency, like build up their offensive line as well. And like the thing
I
about
want
New
how
to
much does
Orleans,
the
as
free
much
agent market look for a line though? That's the question.
I mean, if you can get like some solid like guards, not like your I wouldn't say like your elite guards. If you can get like solid guards, we'll be fine.
Yeah, I can see that. My thing with like y'all with y'all defense, I'm like y'all can draft a free safety and just move him to the box. That's what the Cardinals did with Isaiah Simmons when they drafted him.
But
And
like,
just moved him to the
but
box.
where is he at now?
That's not every safety because all right, that's like the Ravens moving Kyle Hamilton to linebacker. I don't think Kyle Hamilton gonna fall off.
It'd probably be better.
It's just depending on the team and to be honest, who they have around. Because even in that same me mentioning Isaiah Simmons, they had Xavier Collins that year, and they had Buda Baker back there. It's like their defense wasn't bad. Isaiah Simmons just didn't turn out well, and that happens. But Javon Holland can go to linebacker, and I'm pretty sure he could do good at linebacker. It just all depends on the person. But I think all right, cool. Jeremiah love him. I love Cornell Tate. Either or would be a great fit for y'all. But at the same time, I feel like you have to take the best defenders because it's like, who y'all gonna stop?
That's kind of like I said. That's kind of like I mentioned with like Caleb Downs, and also you mentioned Sonny Styles too. Same thing. Like if one of those two slips, like to pick 8, we're kind of like in a spot. Like at pick 8, you kind of look for like whoever is the best player overall.
Best athlete, best player, and take it.
Now I'm
But
like,
it's great receivers in this draft. I don't know if the receiver for Cal entered the draft this year, but he nice. You have all good receivers all across. It all how you
I would say
develop.
like kind of like more
If
on
you
like
want
the
to get
receiver.
receiver,
I would
Huh?
say
if you
like
want to
more
get
on.
receiver, trade to the back half of the draft or the middle half of the draft. I feel like I don't feel like a receiver is going to be taken top 10 this year, or maybe not even top 12, 13.
Oh no, you're
Well, I
bugging.
know like we
Corner
invested like some in like some receivers because I know last year we picked some. I forgot the dude's name that we picked last year, but I know this year before like this season even started, we traded for Vele. I'm not gonna lie to that. I thought I saw a set freeze and I thought I cut out.
no.
But I know we traded for Vele whenever the season started, and obviously we traded away Shaheed because we wanted to see what we had in Vele. I know like right before the season ended, I think it was like during playoffs, we signed the number 1 wide receiver from like the CFL, so kind of want to see what he can do. I kind of just want to see like from the Canadian League. I don't know. I just kind of want to see what like all of our wide receiver room could do outside of Chris Olave, because regardless, like your number 1's gotta be Chris Olave. And like another thing too, like I know like Jawan Johnson like showed some flashes to be like a top tight end. I ended up like looking at his stats. He had like 800 yards, so like pretty solid. That's pretty good for a tight end. But I mean, it's Jawan Johnson. I don't know how to feel about him. And kind of like what you were going like earlier said, we're kind of like in a very defensive heavy draft class this year. So I mean, if you like, you don't really, if you can like clear up like your offensive line issues in free agency, and obviously we need a running back because Kamara is just not going to be your bell cow like game changer anymore. Definitely with his age. So if we can get Jeremiah Love at 8, that'd be like perfect. But I mean, if we wanted a receiver, Carnell Tate's there at 8, we get Carnell Tate. But I will also say, if nobody's there that we like, there's the option of trading down.
I think y'all could be a good team this year. Y'all just gotta make the right moves in the off season. But that's what I'm saying. Free agency gonna play a factor in that because I can get guards in free agency. I can get N'Kobe Dean and linebacker. Then all I got to worry about now is just corners and running back and wide receiver. And that's why I'm like, you have good wide receivers in this draft class to the point where it's like, I can get one in the second round and he could be a great talent. So like that also just play a big part in it. But y'all making the right moves. Y'all trending upwards, you know. Y'all downfall was Cam Jordan, Demario Davis. I'm sorry. He's a great corner linebacker, but he should have been gone. And I'm be honest, Drew. As much as I love Drew, we saw the ending on the
Still talking about Drew Brees.
we saw the writing on the wall a long time ago, and then we just kept going with it, and it was like going downhill.
Yeah, dude. Like I would say, like the year after the no call, that was probably it. That was probably like the last.
Oh, dude, that was terrible.
I was gonna say an interception after the no call, but you know that's neither here nor there.
Look, that
The interception
wasn't
that was
that the
also a
season?
PI. That was another no call.
That was no PI.
If it ain't called, yeah, we just keep going. But wasn't that the season y'all had Janoris Jenkins' old self?
Yeah,
The
so.
surprising thing is like Janoris was also like very solid given his age, but then again, Marshawn Lattimore was in his prime, so
But I'm like, didn't Janoris leave like right after that?
yeah, it went to the Giants.
That's what I'm
It
like.
sucks.
Y'all had old players all the way around. But I'm like, I saw it.
I will definitely agree with that. We definitely held on to like our players way longer than we needed to. Like with Cam Jordan, I mean, given like Cam Jordan still had solid production, but you definitely need that guy right now outside on the opposite side of Chase Young. Because what's his Carl Granderson? I was so mad about the Carl Granderson signing because Granderson is not a good edge rusher. I don't know. Oh wait, we had Dennis Allen. That's why we're like in the situation we're in now. Because Dennis Allen set us back so many years.
I mean, y'all was already doing that y'all, so he probably just added on a little bit to it.
He definitely. I mean, Sean Payton wasn't doing us any favors either. Whenever he was like coaching after he lost Breeze.
Hey, bring back Bounty Gate.
Say that again.
I should said bring back Bounty Gate. Just go. Y'all should have brought back Sean.
I mean, you got a point.
Defense was an all-time high. I feel like if you gonna do that, you gotta have a defensive coach. And Sean actually had great defensive teams. So like
he had great defensive teams, but I mean, there was like 3 years we went 7-9. Those are like the years we had like arguably the worst defenses. Offense was never the problem, but we always had terrible defenses.
It was pretty one much of them years, Marshawn Lynch ran over everybody on the fucking defense.
Oh yeah.
We're not gonna talk about Beastquake.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. That's really what got me in tune with football even more. When Beastquake happened, I watched that game live, and I said, "Oh my god, he's killing them!" And it just made me love the Seahawks and Marshawn.
Yeah, and how many years did he do that to multiple teams after that?
But y'all was the most.
Didn't matter. He did it to y'all.
We're the most heartbreaking one.
Oh yeah, that was a year after y'all won the Super Bowl, bro, in the wild card.
Yeah, 2010, and then 2011, 49ers, dude. That was so stupid too. Like, I'm not gonna get into that. I would just say how do we have the better record and higher seed, but yet we're playing in an away game.
I mean, yeah. But wasn't it also like contingent on who won their divisions?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm like, that's still now where it's like the top 4 seeds are just teams that won a division. Just
the Seahawks. The year that the Beastquake happened, they were 7-9, bro.
Like,
I'm not gonna talk about it.
Hey man, y'all had some great like moments in this past year for other teams.
Mike, I think I asked you this before, but which one hurt more, the no call or the Stephon
Diggs?
I still feel like it's the no call. Because, I mean, like, with the Minneapolis Miracle, I mean, that's just like, that's just an unfortunate situation. With a no call, it's like, bro, like, you robbed us in broad daylight.
But y'all robbed yourself. Like, y'all safety dove at Stephon head down, looking towards the ground.
I mean,
Missed everything.
he was a rookie, and again, heartbreaking fashion. It was just an
Rookie.
unfortunate mistake that we had a rookie back there to do something like that. But the call again, you're comparing a rookie mistake to a in-day robbery.
But also, you can look at that no call and say that's a coaching problem as well. Because first of all, that's not even the proper way to tackle.
You can't.
I'm not even gonna lie.
Rookie or not,
You can't say the no call is a coaching
I'm
problem.
not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. That no call that was robbery.
We got robbed of a Breeze versus Brady Super Bowl, and also I'm telling you right here, right now, that if the call was called, I'm telling you right here, right now, the year that Breeze was having, Breeze would have smoked Brady in that Super Bowl.
y'all
Oh,
y'all would have lost this.
Oh man,
Y'all would have lost this. I ain't gonna lie, I keep thinking about the Minneapolis Miracle right now. Like, seeing Stephon just take the helmet off to it, just that was all that.
that was
with that.
At least
that was Case Keenum that threw that shit.
Oh yeah, that is Case.
oh shit.
At least I can always say that the Minneapolis Miracle is still better than 28-3.
Fair enough.
Yes.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'd rather take that heartbreak than blow a 28-3 lead.
I mean, but y'all also would never know how that feels to make it there because y'all did, obviously, you know.
I mean,
I'd rather make it there and lose and say, "Hey, we got there." Rest of them, like, damn, boneheaded decision.
I mean, we got a ring, and Atlanta doesn't.
Oh wow! How long ago was that, Mike?
It's still a ring compared to no rings.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
A ring. Hey, a ring is a ring.
That's because y'all was paying people thousands of dollars to hurt Brett Favre and shit.
Hey man, I was only 9. I was only 9 years old, bro. My 9-year-old brain couldn't comprehend that kind of stuff at the time.
I'm like, Bountygate was way worse than Deflategate.
Yeah. Just go into your locker room after half, fucked up somebody, see a pile of cash in your locker.
I mean, we
It's a good
definitely.
day.
I know we definitely wasn't the only team that was doing that at that time. We was just the only team that got caught.
Y'all were like the Astros with the Suns doing shit.
Yeah, the Astros not the only team that does it, but the only team that got caught.
The difference is, no, both
We
teams
didn't get
won.
contact after.
Both teams won, so it was something to it.
I ain't gonna lie.
What about the trash can and the bounty?
I hate the Astros. I hate the Astros.
I'm just gonna go ahead in this episode on me taking that L. Congratulations.
Hold on, real quick though. Before we end this,
Here we go, bro.
Hold on. First of all, you ain't giving me a chance.
I was trying to end it with me taking an L, but if you so gracefully want to take one, go right ahead.
No, see that? I ain't gonna lie. You done took plenty L's with the Saints, so you just going to hold this one out.
You did too with the Colts, but so wouldn't you have followed this out too?
At least my team didn't go from being the best team in the NFL to at home on the couch.
I mean,
your team on the couch anyway. Both of y'all teams.
And also, I would say at least my team may have a QB.
I mean,
That's why y'all got equal chances at this point.
Chris, what was you trying to say?
Hold on. Let me just say this real quick though. Then I'm gonna get to what I gotta say. I ain't gonna lie. Mike, your team ain't been the same since that miracle. Let's be real.
Just like y'all haven't been the same without Andrew Luck.
Yeah, I was like, you kind of just gonna dig yourself in the grave because both of y'all teams.
I mean, I can admit it that we've been trash since Andrew Luck. I can wholeheartedly admit that.
And I can say we've been trash since Drew Brees retired.
Well,
that's kind of true.
At least we was in the playoffs when we had Drew Brees. Where were y'all at?
Rebuilding.
Still rebuilding.
I ain't gonna lie, Chris. If y'all rebuilding, that shit like a black church fund, because that shit ain't never finished rebuilding.
No. I can say this though. At least I know At least I know we're trash at a time.
That's
Mike,
not true because
Definitely not.
your first show on here, you swore y'all was gonna make it to the
I ain't gonna lie.
season.
In all honesty, though, you ain't gonna lie. You was low key having doubts too. You was like, okay, these people might actually make it far. You was y'all was having that doubts
Who?
too.
Who's y'all?
I don't mean to sound like an owl, but who? Not me.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. After we went through 4-0, y'all started kind of having those.
I say
I
who?
don't know.
The first thing I told you was I can't wait for them to fall and break your heart.
We never had any trust in Daniel Jones leading the Colts to success.
You
You were
remember
But no,
when
only
I
you
told
were
while
only one on the Indiana Jones hype.
I told you y'all were like when the Steelers went 11-0 and then didn't even win a playoff game, and y'all took it a step further and didn't even make it to the playoffs.
I
He
would say this
snapped the
though.
whip, loaded the wagon up, and went right off the fucking cliff, dude, with the whole wagon.
But all right, get to your point. What
Well,
was you
I ain't
gonna
gonna
say
lie. No,
before?
no, no,
What was you
no,
gonna say
no,
before
no,
we
no,
end the
no.
episode?
Oh no, what I was gonna say though was, so I don't know if y'all just heard, but college football is recently getting like those patches, those advertisement patches. Now they sponsoring from other companies. How do y'all feel about that?
Them
Because
niggas brought that
because
up at the end of
that's what I said. That's what I said before we end.
You talking about ads on video game?
No, like
Oh, he
Arkansas
talking
literally
about
tried to get a
You're trying to
Tyson.
end the episode, though, Chris.
Huh?
You're trying to end the episode.
I'm just saying, how do y'all feel about this real quick before we leave?
I mean, it's just a patch, dude.
Because in all honesty, though, I'm
We
just
can talk
saying.
about it after the episode, though, dude.
I mean, all right.
I'll wrap it up and then we can talk about that off it.
I will say it's just a patch on a uniform. It has no significant impact to how anybody plays.
It's like when the
Mhm.
Pelicans have the veterans patch on the basketball jersey.
But
I just feel
honestly,
like
Because
I just feel like I just feel like it's taking away the college roots. But okay.
but on
How's
that note, YouTube, if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment, subscribe, and also share the video with your friends. We will catch
Yo,
y'all
Starch.
next week.
Luminous?